Hey everybody, I wanted to see if ChatGPT could build me a platformer like Donkey Kong Country. Because I want to make a game like that, and I think I know how to do it. But I wanted to see if ChatGPT could help me do it faster. This is what happened. So I've already done it, and I've got my history here, and I want to show it to you guys. I started off by asking it to tell me a joke, of course. I mean, that's what you should always start a conversation with a chatbot, right? It said, "Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts." I start off by simply telling it, write a player controller code in GML for a 2D platformer that plays like Donkey Kong Country. And it said, sure, here's the basic example of a player controller in GameMaker language, GML, for a 2D platformer that plays like Donkey Kong Country. This code assumes you have basic familiarity with GameMaker Studio and platformer mechanics. Which, it had a good start. It's got my move speed, jump speed, gravity is jumping flag for finding out if it's player is jumping or not. So basically what I figure is this is going to go into my create event, and then also I need to set up these key left, key right in the create event, or I just need to add VAR in front of them to make them temporary variables. This doesn't use a lot of GameMaker's naming conventions, which won't be an error necessarily. It'll give you like a feather notification in GameMaker, which those bug me enough that I do try to conform to GameMaker's naming conventions. Anyway, there is a key piece that is missing here, which I think is necessary for a Donkey Kong Country-like game, and that is the roll. Basically, you only have moving left, right, and jumping, which is a basic 2D platformer thing. It does have applied gravity, horizontal and vertical collisions, which work fine, but it didn't have a roll. So ChatGPT, the AI, I'll just call it, this code provides, the AI said, this code provides basic left and right movement, jumping mechanics with gravity, and collision handling with walls. Adjust the move speed, jump speed, and gravity variables to tweak the player's movement and jumping behavior according to your preferences. Additionally, you'll need to replace object wall, or OBJ wall, with the name of your wall object in the game. But I just created an object. I guess I can just move GameMaker over here. I created a wall object. I created a basic wall sprite, just a solid color block. Created the wall, which has no events in it. And created the player character and put, well, this is my final code in here, but I put what was in there. I created this handsome sprite of a pirate guy, and so my start was, or my game had started. But actually what I told it following that was add the roll attack from Donkey Kong Country to that code. And so chat said to add the roll attack from Donkey Kong Country to the player controller code, you can introduce a new state for the player called rolling. Here's how you can modify the code. So it's basically just rewrote all the code with that roll. There's like a key roll in there now. Also, is rolling state, roll duration, roll timer. These are necessary things to have for the roll to work the way we want it to. Has roll attack, if key roll. So I can go over the code here, but I think the point here is that you should be able to let ChatGPT like write the code for you. I guess that's the dream, is that you can just tell it to do something and it'll do it completely error-free. But from this experience, it seems like you still need to know code in order to basically check its work. Because as we go down here, chat says, this modified code adds a new condition to handle the roll attack when the down arrow key is pressed. Key roll. When the roll attack is initiated, the player enters a rolling state, is rolling, and moves horizontally at a constant speed, move speed, for a certain duration, roll duration. After the roll duration expires, the player exits the rolling state. Adjust roll duration according to your game's needs. So it's very nice that it actually not only just gives you the code that you can just plug into your game, but then it kind of tells you which variables to change if you want to alter the game feel, you know? So it's pretty good at that. Then I told it I should not be able to use roll attack while jumping. Basically, I could jump into the air and hit the roll button and, you know, it would look like an air dash basically. But I don't want that to be. It's supposed to be like a grounded roll. So I said, the code you provided is allowing a roll attack to be done while jumping. Please correct this. And chat responded with apologies for the oversight. Let's correct that by adding a condition to prevent the roll attack while the player is jumping. Here's the updated code. Instead of like looking over the entire code again, I said, please isolate the part of the code that is different from your previous code, and look at that. It just gave me that little box of the roll attack stuff. In this modify section I added is jumping to the condition. This ensures that the roll attack can only be initiated if the player is not already jumping. This prevents the roll attack from being performed while the player is in mid-air. Then I said, add to the roll attack the ability to not fall while rolling and be able to jump while rolling, because that's the way the Donkey Kong Country roll works, is that you can roll, and if you go off an edge, you'll still like stay in the air for a bit while you're rolling, and then you can jump while you're rolling, which gives you the ability to like make this extended roll jump. And that's like the main appeal, I think, of the movement. The chat said, to implement the ability for the player to not fall while rolling and to be able to jump while rolling, we need to adjust the gravity and jumping conditions when the player is in the rolling state. Here's the modified code. It added, let me see if I can find it here real quick. Roll movement, yeah. Allow jumping while rolling. So inside the if is rolling state, basically, you have up here the roll attack where it checks if key roll is pressed and is not jumping and is not rolling, then rolling is true. Roll timer equals roll duration, and vertical speed, reset vertical speed, and rolling starts. So your falling speed becomes, or your jumping speed, vertical speed is set to 0, so you're not going to go up or down, at least from the start. And then it checks if you're rolling, your horizontal speed equals your move speed times sine your image x scale. This is something I was adding to this code, that if you press left or right, it would change your x scale. The chat didn't do that. It just had in this, assuming you press left and right, your image x scale would change, because it's telling the game that to roll in the direction that you're facing, the direction that your image x scale is, whether it's 1 or -1, basically. The sine function in there, SIGN, simply takes the image x scale and finds out if it's positive or negative. Then it takes that and multiplies it times move speed. So your move speed will be positive or negative based on the direction you're facing. It then says allow jumping while rolling. If key jump is pressed while you're inside this is rolling state, then you just do the regular jump. And it worked. So if I can, there's more to it, but if I can show you guys, the controls, I haven't even changed them yet, but up is jump and down is roll. So I'll like kind of roll off the ledge there. And it's kind of tricky because I got to have my fingers, I got to have 2 different fingers on like up and down in order to really demonstrate that I can, like you can see me sliding off the wall there. But how? Maybe I actually can't roll jump, and I have been lied to. I thought I was testing it earlier. Well, I guess we'll have to check that out. So, a problem that it was having for the longest time actually was that I've seen this in some other Game Maker tutorials where if you just use gravity and vertical speed, horizontal speed, your character will just slowly fall through the floor. In fact, I can recreate that. If I pull up my code, let's go ahead, do the X, find and replace X speed with H speed and Y speed with vertical speed. So let me see if it's working. No, it's not working. Select all. Y speed. Oh, I need to correctly spell speed is my problem. So Y speed, vertical speed, and then replace X speed with H speed, because that is the actual code that it's using. V speed, gravity, all that jazz. So if I put, in fact I have P gravity and gravity, which is only referenced in one spot. But if I have those variables in there, okay, well you can see right here my character's not even falling. My movement is way faster. My character's not even moving down. Well, actually, that might be because of this. Change my gravity value. There we go. See, that's the problem that I've seen happen all the time, is that your player, you can see my character can move left and right, but I'm just sinking through the floor here. I can jump, but as soon as I get into the floor, I'm sinking. So I had it later, I kind of just had it change all those predefined variables of like vertical speed, horizontal speed. I changed them to Y speed for the vertical and X speed for the horizontal, and that simple and changed gravity to just P gravity, like player gravity, and that simple change made it so that none of that stuff happened. It's just some kind of a weird thing with game makers' built-in variables where you have to handle them differently. Maybe you need to have physics on or something, I don't know. But if you just simply change the variables horizontal speed and vertical speed to just your own variables, then you can avoid that problem. I mean, maybe there's another workaround, let me know. But if you change those variables, you can do that. So I also want to change the names of variables. So like, is jumping, that's not normal game maker syntax. So I told it, change the name of the variables by replacing capital letters with lowercase letters and adding that line, I couldn't think of it, I guess, in between words with the variable name. And it said, sure, here's the code with the variable names adjusted according to your request. And you can look in here, and like is rolling now has that space. It doesn't have the capital R like it did before. And then right down here in the adjusted code, I replaced capital letters with lowercase letters and added underscores, that's the name of that line, between words within variable names as per your request. So it took that instruction and knew exactly what I wanted to do with those variable names. Then I said, replace variable gravity with P gravity, replace variable H speed with X speed, replace V speed with Y speed. That's pretty simple, you know, find and replace function, which no doubt it did just fine. And it even told me that it did it right here. I keep looking over here because this is the screen that has OBS up. I mean, this is my camera. This is the screen I'm working on. This is the screen that has OBS showing me recording myself. So that's why I keep glancing over here every once in a while. So it then said, I've made the changes according to your instructions, replacing variable names and maintaining functionality. Then I said, change the jump height to be dependent on how long the player holds the jump button down, but still have a maximum jump height for a single jump. I'm just realizing now I didn't even test that, if that works. Let's see. I gotta keep pulling this over. Nope, that didn't work. If I tap it or hold it, it's still the same jump. And I can hold jump. I should probably tell it to not let me do that. So then, to implement a variable jump height based on how long the player holds down the jump button, you can use a combination of variables to track the jump button duration and calculate jump velocity accordingly. Here's how you can adjust the code. And it added variables, max jump duration, max jump height. But, you know, it's probably a problem with the code itself, because there's another problem that it ran into later. But, so where's that jump timer? Jump timer is less than max jump duration. Jump timer plus plus. Well, that looks like it should work. If is jumping and jump timer less than max jump duration. Jump timer plus plus. Y speed equals max jump height. If you scroll down more, told me about the max jump height, max jump duration, sets its maximum duration for a single jump. Jump timer tracks how long the player has been holding the jump button, which, again, don't think it works. I mean, we just saw it doesn't work, but we can troubleshoot that later. I want to show you something else that it didn't get right that I was able to fix. I said when pressing left to set image. Oh yeah, X scale -1. When pressing right, set image X scale to 1. Remove the max jump height restriction. You dropped the jump speed from your code. Please put it back in. Oh yeah, so back up here in these, what I refer to as the create event variables stuff. Jump speed is gone. Like, it has move speed and then it goes straight to jump height, not jump speed. So previous code, jump speed was still there. Unless it took it out because of the jump height calculation? Maybe it didn't need jump speed, and I was dumb to tell it to put back in. Huh. Let me pull up that jumping code. Jump speed? Yeah, jump speed isn't even referenced in here. So I guess it just changed the way it calculated it. I don't need jump speed, apparently. But then, oh, just walked off ledge. I don't think I need that. Let's take out the jumped off ledge thing. Let me see if that fixes the jump height. Player jump speed not set before reading it. That's because I have it in here where I'm supposed to draw it. That's why it's freaking out. Nope, no variable jump height yet. What about my roll jump? Okay. I think that's just the coyote time jumping in. So if we go back to the code, if I check how long this is going, 20 minutes, okay. Go back in here. So I don't need jump time. So I didn't need to tell it that. So I thought it had dropped something by accident because I guess I thought it was making a mistake. So I told it to do the XY scale thing, and it added to the top a separate section for left and right key press. So then I just told it integrate image X scale change into the horizontal movement section of the code so you don't have to check if key left more than necessary. And it said, certainly, we can integrate the image X scale change into the horizontal movement section to avoid redundant checks. Here's the updated code. And it did just that. Put that image X scale equals -1 when you press left and right when you press, or 1 when you press right. So then we have, I said something broke when we removed the max jump height restriction. Please add it back in as it was, because I was noticing that there was a problem with the jump, and I thought it had something to do with the max jump height restriction, because I thought we were still using jump speed. So apologies for the confusion. Let's reintroduce the maximum jump height restriction. Here's the updated code with max jump height restriction added back in. So that's interesting. How did the jump work when we took it out? Maybe the jump just didn't work, and that's why. Jump timer is jumping. Well, no, its jump speed is in there instead of the max jump. I guess it just switched max jump's height with jump speed. Well, anyway, it put jump speed back in. And then jump speed and jump height are both there because I told it put it back in. Jump height's back in, and the jump code. Where's that jump code? Is now back to max jump height instead of the jump speed. So then I said add some coyote time so the player can still hold, roll, or jump shortly after walking off a ledge, but not long after walking off a ledge. So then to add coyote time, a short window after walking off a ledge where the player can still perform actions like rolling or jumping, we can introduce a timer that resets when the player is on the ground. Here's how you can implement it. So this is where it actually did make a mistake, and I had to fix it for it. So right here, increment coyote timer if the player is on the ground or is recently, if the player is on the ground or was recently on the ground. So if on ground or coyote time is greater than 0, coyote timer equals coyote time, else coyote timer minus minus. Now, do you see the problem with this code? The problem here is this or coyote timer greater than 0. Because if it's greater than 0, coyote timer will just equal coyote time. Coyote time is the number of frames in which you can input a command after not being grounded. Coyote timer is just how many, it just counts the frames of the time. So coyote timer is always reset to 5 if it's greater than 0. So it'll just always be at 5 forever. Because whether you're on the ground or not, there's an or statement right here. So by simply removing this part, it works. Because if you're not on the ground, coyote timer should reduce. And then it did correctly implement this other stuff like coyote timer greater than 0. So you can't do a roll or a jump. Yeah, or a jump unless coyote timer is greater than 0. Because once you're off the ground, it counts down, and if it gets to 0 or lower, then you can't do your stuff. So right here, I said there was a problem. The player is able to jump once anytime after walking off a ledge because coyote time is infinite. Even before we added coyote time, please fix this. I think there was a problem with the jump. Yeah, ever since the beginning of the game, I had like a double jump, which it doesn't have now. Possibly because of coyote time being added. Had some extra effect of removing the double jump. So it created the just walked off ledge flag to check if you just walked off a ledge. So just walked off a ledge it has this on ground thing, which should work, but I don't think it was working for some reason. Something else was ruining it. But right here, determined player just walked off a ledge. If on ground, not on ground, and place meeting 1 pixel below, there's a wall, just walked off ledge equals true. Well, that doesn't even sound right. And place meeting, there's a wall below you, but you're not on the ground. Just walked off ledge should be false. I don't know, that should just make you grounded. Anyway, it didn't work. Well, I said that fixed the problem with the jumping anytime after walking off a ledge, but now the coyote time does not work. So anytime you walked off a ledge, you just fall. You wouldn't be able to do your jump or roll or anything. Player cannot jump or roll at all after walking off a ledge. Please fix this. Apologies for the oversight. Let's correct the code to ensure the coyote time works as intended. We'll adjust the condition for checking coyote time to allow jumping and rolling shortly after walking off a ledge. Here's the corrected code. I'm not entirely sure what it did. Let's see. In this corrected code, jumping and rolling actions now check if the player just walked off a ledge in addition to being in the coyote time window before allowing the action to be performed. This ensures that coyote time functionality is maintained even after walking off a ledge. I don't think it worked. And that's when I had to go through the code and try to figure out what the problem was. And I started to type it out here, but then I hit enter and it started to send the message, and I told it to stop. because I hit enter because I just want to go to the new line. If you hold shift and enter, which is common in other programs, you can go down the line without sending the thing. So I had changed this with the or coyote timer section to 0 to this without that coyote timer thing. The or coyote timer greater than 0 part was preventing the coyote timer from ever counting down, thus allowing the player to use jump anytime after walking off a ledge. That is how the way I found out is because of my draw GUI event stuff, where I had up here my stats like P gravity, is jumping, is rolling, coyote timer. I had those things in there to check and let me know, and I was able to notice that the coyote timer was not moving when I walked off a ledge. It was just sticking at the value it has. I've changed it to 10 to make it a little more lenient. But so yeah, my roll, I don't think my roll jump is working. Doesn't look like it. Can't jump after rolling now. So there's still some more work to be done. But that was the last thing I did. I told it to change that and it said, got it, here's the updated code with the adjustment you requested. With this change, the coyote timer will only reset to its maximum value, coyote time, when the player is on the ground. Otherwise, it will decrement as before, ensuring that the coyote time functionality works as expected. Thank you for pointing out the issue. So, basically what I see from this is that ChatGPT at least can get you the basics and get you started on a project. It is a good function for getting stuff that should be obvious down, like basic player movement, but for specific functions that are unique to your game, that aren't common to like all games of your genre, you're probably going to need to do that code yourself. Well, I mean, not entirely yourself. Obviously, I asked ChatGPT to do it, and basically I need to review its code for exactly what I want, because unless there's more specific ways to ask for it that I'm not doing, if I need to like describe it in more detail, I don't know if that would fix it. I don't know how exactly to be more detailed, but that is what I found so far. Okay, so I found the problem with the roll jump. In here, I mean, there's still a bunch of references to just walked off ledge. I just removed all those because I don't think that's a thing anymore. That was its attempt to fix the roll jump stuff earlier. But what I did find is, oh, right here in this roll movement section, if key jump should be the only condition. It added the coyote timer to the key jump, because you don't need coyote time to roll after, or to jump after rolling, at least I don't think, because coyote timer is going to go up whenever you're not on the ground. So unless I change coyote timer to not go up when rolling, because then that would give you like a small window to press jump if you like release roll, but I removed those other conditions to key jump. And you can see here, if I bring this over, that I can now, I did it a second ago. Oh my, oh my. I was just doing, oh, there we go. Oh, I have to, that is weird. It's still finicky. I gotta tweak it a bit more, take a look at this some more. But I don't know if ChatGPT will really help me out anymore after this. At least with tweaking stuff, you know? Like, it can give me the basic code, but if I want to tweak stuff, I need to know how to manipulate the code. Which it did, to be fair, it did tell me, in general, what to do that. I still have this in here. Just jumped off Just walked off ledge. Let me just take all that out just to make sure I'm not crazy. Wow, it's everywhere. Tournament player just walked off a ledge. I swear it's not needed. At least I think it is. Maybe I'm making a huge mistake. Let's find out. I can still do the sort of roll jump. It's like the roll takes priority over the jump. Like if I'm still rolling and I press jump, it waits for my roll to end before I can jump. So that's odd. I don't think that should be that way. That's a problem with that. But yeah, the whole just walked off ledge thing didn't seem to have any effect. Like I noticed earlier, I don't need the jump height. But what was my problem? Oh yeah, the variable jump. Let's do that. Make it so if the player holds the jump key for a short time, the player does a short jump. But if... Oh, this is confusing. But if I'm using player and user interchangeably. If the jump key is held for a short time, the player does a short jump. But if the jump key is held for a long time, the player does the max jump height. A short time player does a short jump height. I don't know, that might sound like there's only 2 jump heights. Let's see what it does. To implement a variable jump height based on how long the key is held, you can adjust the jump logic to gradually increase the jump height while the key is held down to a maximum jump height. Your site can modify the code to achieve this. Still has just walked off a ledge in here. What else did it add? Anything? Let me just check out the... please... Well, hold on. Let's go to the bottom. The min jump height variable represents the minimum height for a short jump. Okay, adjusted according to your game's requirements. The jump timer variable tracks how long the jump key has been held. The jump height ratio variable calculates the ratio of the current jump duration to the maximum jump duration. This ratio is then used to interpolate LERP between the minimum and maximum jump height to determine the actual jump height. The longer the jump key is held, the closer the jump height approaches the maximum jump height. Okay, this actually is a little more advanced than I would have done. I mean, I haven't used like alert really for anything, but let's go ahead. I mean, I know this still has just walked off a ledge, which I took the time to take out. Oh, Game Maker's over here. Put that back up. Let's go ahead and put it in here just for the sake of it, because we're gonna need it if we want to use this code as is. Whoops. Went back to the top. There we go. Let's see here. I want this section down. Copy that. Paste that. Right? Did I not get everything? I didn't get everything. Let's try it out. Gotta bring this over every time. Ooh. Yeah, player min jump height. So we need to create that variable. It didn't give us the step for creating that variable, which is fine. Let's go in here since we don't need jump height. What do I need? Min jump height equals, what's our max jump height? -12. Min jump height be -2. Let's just see how that works. Bring this over here. Whoa. That looks so funky. How does my roll look? Hold on. I can't. Can I not roll? I can roll off the right side. Is that? Oh, if I just. Usually, if I just press down, they'll do a short roll in front in place, but now that doesn't work anymore. In fact, my roll doesn't seem to be working at all. I can jump, but I can't roll. My roll has just been broken. What did it do? Where is my roll ability? Roll attack, roll attack. Where is my roll attack? Oh my gosh. Did I miscopy it, or my roll has been removed? There is no roll. It took the roll out. Let's see. You took out the roll attack. Please put it back in. Let's see. Horizontal movement. Just walked off a ledge, jumping, continue to jump, roll attack. The coyote timer thing is still in here, which I didn't tell it to remove, but I don't know, it just seems like, I mean, I could just copy my code and just give it to it. Like, hey, forget your code, use my new code that I've edited. So I mean, really, I feel like this is kind of a collaborator, ChatGPT. Can't do all the work for you, and but you can definitely use it to help you get the work done. But yeah, ChatGPT is like a collaborator to work with. Not necessarily a replacement for something, but a good tool that will need some tweaking. And well, I mean, like I said, I could edit this and give it back to it saying, hey, let's start with using this code now. I've made some changes, you know? I just need to, you know, talk to it more like that, do stuff like that to get this going further. So, pick this up again later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.